Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
Well, the onset of fall weather, Coach, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and the 2-0 San Francisco 49ers taking the field here on offense. Week 2 for Jimmy G. Almost threw for 300 yards, 297. Did throw 3 touchdown passes and an interception. But I'll tell you what, 2-0 for San Francisco and looking pretty strong.
And remember all the questions about Jimmy Garoppolo in the preseason? Remember the one game he had where he had a 0.0 quarterback rating? Well, guess what? You can eliminate that. He continues to get better, more comfortable coming off of the knee injury. In fact, he felt so good on Sunday. Did you see that scramble? Did you see the run? Even in the knee brace, Jimmy Garoppolo starting to bring his team along. 2-0, San Francisco.
From the 36, Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Play action. It's Rudolph. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing the ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Steelers getting the football back here on offense. I want to go back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, look, they're 0-2. They had the quarterback change with a Roethlisberger injury. But specific to Week 2, Charles, their defense was really good in the first half and then struggled big time in the second half. Russell Wilson picked them apart.
They looked like Blitzburg in the first half, didn't they? 4 sacks, forced fumble to set up their first touchdown. And you're right, in the second half, unable to corral Russell Wilson. He moved around quite well and carved them up. Now think of what they've got. At San Francisco, who is 2-0. Not sure anyone expected that to begin the season. Then 2 divisional opponents at home against Cincinnati and then Baltimore. Not an easy stretch at all for Pittsburgh trying to adapt to a new quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Again, it's Rudolph. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. San Francisco ready to get the football back. CD, you and I talked earlier about their 2-0 start, what Jimmy Garoppolo has done. But how about this? Instead of heading back across the country after that Week 1 win in Tampa, the Niners spent the week in Youngstown, Ohio, ahead of their game in Cincinnati. It worked to keep the bodies on the Eastern time zone.
It certainly did, and it was the plan right from preseason, so it wasn't something they just came up with and said, hey, let's try this. They knew going in that's what they would do. They have a history with the 49ers franchise with Youngstown, Ohio, that helps them out. And they go in and they blast Cincinnati 41-17. How about the way they ran the football without their top runners? Number 1, number 2 backs are not playing. 259 yards on the ground. The San Francisco team is gaining confidence. They could be scary.
Now the one downer, and it is a downer, the injury to Joe Staley, their left tackle. Fractured fibula. He'll likely be out for the better part of 2 months, so that'll be something to track. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the loss.
And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? Definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Rudolph. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rudolph on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Going top shot for Smith-Schuster. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And look at this. For the 2nd straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss. Right now in the 2nd quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Pettis on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Garoppolo now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. That's complete right around the 8. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let him know.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That's complete right around the 8. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. This will be caught at about the 5. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rudolph now to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. And his throw is incomplete. So we've reached halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Second half. Put in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The throw right sideline here is complete. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Quan Alexander came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
We are seeing 2 really confident deep.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They will run again with Coleman. And an alley to run. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rudolph forced out to his left. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Rudolph.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rudolph looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Snell, and he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well.
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
15, run. 15, run. We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Ready?
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Rudolph. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 24-yard line. Now Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the 2-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan. And then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach. And he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Garoppolo on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. T.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. The kick by Gold is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. And now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Now it's Rudolph. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left, want to save it.
Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is indeed good. And the Steelers have won the game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for Pittsburgh, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.